I live on top of the hill. But every day I go down to the village to buy the food that I'm going to cook that night. Welcome to what's left of the Italian-American neighborhood in San Francisco. I'm Johnny, and this is my NorthBeach. For today's recipe, I challenge you to see how hot you can go with this dish. I was talking to Franco at Molinari the other day when I bought these peppers from Calabrian. Franco said these were the hottest peppers he's ever eaten. He said there might be hotter ones out there, but he hasn't found them yet. Let's get to the kitchen and cook this one up. Today I'm making a really flavorful pasta sauce from Calabria. It's macaroni con sugo de crostate di maiale. It's a very simple tomato sauce that's flavored with long braised pork ribs. So let me show you some of the ingredients we have here. Really meaty baby back ribs here. This is like a half a slab. So of course I got my San Marzano tomatoes. These are from Italy, and they're just crushed by hand so that we get this nice consistency. And we're going to flavor the dish with some garlic and some basil. And pretty much that's it. Pecorino rigati. These are a pretty large pasta, and they have, rigate means they have these ridges on there, and the ridges will help them, the pasta, have the sauce stick to it. These are Calabrian red hot peppers. And they love their heat and they love their peppers in Calabria. So when I'm done with the dish and we're ready to plate it up, I'm going to finish it with some pecorino romano. But here's my challenge to you. See this? This is the oil that these peppers are packed in. So the challenge is how many drops of this hot oil from these little firecrackers can you stand? Okay, so let's a little baboom action on this garlic. It's going to help flavor the oil that we're going to brown the pork ribs in. So just get rid of the paper real quick. And my typical infusion, we're going to put the garlic and the olive oil in a cold pan, so I'm just turning it on now. And we're going to give this a fair amount of olive oil because we're going to be browning the pork ribs in here. So we'll let this get going. So here they are. We're going to season these well with some sea salt and some freshly grated black pepper. Just make sure that's adhering nicely. We're going to do it on both sides. We just want to separate these. If you did it from the other side, you wouldn't be able to see where you're supposed to cut, so this just makes it easier for you. So you can hear the sizzle there, right? That garlic, we don't want it to get much color. And then we're just going to put in the pork ribs, and don't crowd them too much in here, right? You want them to brown, you don't want them to steam. And we'll just leave those alone and let them go for a little bit. I'll turn this down to medium high. Okay, so I'm just turning these. They're starting to develop a little bit of a crust here, and that's what I want. So these have finished caramelizing the pork ribs. So this is the San Marzano tomatoes. We're going to get a nice sizzle. So the last thing I'm going to do is just rip some of this basil off, maybe about 8-10 leaves. A nice fresh flavor in here. Okay, so this has been braising for maybe about an hour and a half or so. You can see in here that we've lost a lot of the liquid. See? The sauce is much denser. This is the only place that the pasta is going to pick up any flavor of the salt. So we're going to put a fairly good amount of this in, a couple of tablespoons. We'll throw in the pasta. And then I'm going to put the cover back on to bring it up to a rapid boil as quickly as possible. So I think our sauce is done. Let me take this off. So you'll notice that in many of my episodes, you're going to see me finishing pasta, take them out there al dente, out of the water, And then we're going to finish them up in a saute pan. So I'm going to put this over here. And we want to drain these pretty well because I like the thickness of that sauce right now, so I don't want to add a lot of water to it. That looks good. Smells delicious. We'll serve the pasta as a first course. And then these ribs are going to go out as the secondi. Oh, beautiful. So this looks delicious. Just going to take some of the Locatelli pecorino romano. We're going to give this a little bit of a sprinkle here. Now you notice I'm using the larger grate here. And as long as I'm still getting these kind of long slivers, it's fine. But I like to have a little bit more of that cheese with every pasta that's going into my mouth. And sometimes I'll finish it off with a little bit of this fine grate just to make sure I ain't missing nothing. What are we going to do with the oil? I think I'm in the mood for some oil. So you got to be careful with this. These peppers are very hot. So really, I think 1, 2, 3, that's plenty. I'm going to stop there. Okay, so this looks delicious. There's our macaroni con de crostate di maiale. I put a little bit of my hot oil from these Calabrian peppers. I'm a little bit nervous. Let me see how we're going to do with this. Unbelievable. The sauce is really sweet and mild from the pork. The macaroni, the panoni are really very nicely cooked al dente. And now I'm getting that kick from that oil. But it's absolutely delicious. Let me try the ribs. Look at that meat just falling right off the bone. Delicious. Sweet, tender. A dish, make it as hot as you want, not hot. A beautiful dish from Calabria. But the oil really, really flavors this nicely. That nice, hot, sweet pepper. I love it. Oh, Madonna mia. I can feel my face getting red already. I need some bread.